Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel all about remote jobs. This is your friend Nishant from India, and today we are going to discuss how I passed the Handshake AI Project SEAL. But before we come to that, thank you so much for all the love and support which you guys gave me on the first video of this series. That is this one you can see on the I button. That was how I got a $30 task pay at Handshake AI Project SEAL, and this is going to be the second video of this series where I'll be discussing how I passed the assessment so that I successfully onboarded on the project SEAL India project. So let's get started. What I will do is I will try to discuss my strategies, the time management which I used, and how difficult or easy this assessment was. But before we go ahead and discuss that, first of all, I would like to discuss, that this video is purely based on my personal experience, and this is for educational purposes only. And it's not an official video of Handshake AI how to pass the assessment, or I cannot share much confidential information or tips or tricks, and most importantly the exact question and answers for Handshake AI, because that won't be ethical enough to do that, guys. So yeah, first of all, many people have asked me this thing that can you share the question and answers of Handshake AI, can you share the video on how to crack the assessment. So this is that video, guys, but I will try to be as ethical, as honest as possible. Since I didn't cheat and passed the assessment, I will not recommend everyone or anyone to cheat and pass these kinds of assessments. These assessments may seem difficult in nature, but trust me, they are pretty easy. So let's come to that. There are no shortcuts to get success in life, or there are no shortcuts to pass these assessments. You may find people who are giving you YouTube instructions that you can use Chat GPT to prepare for this particular assessment, but I think that's waste of time. Let's not do that, because if you are found that you're using an AI to prepare for this particular assessment, then not only you will be rejected, but you may also be permanently banned from Handshake AI platform. So I would not advise you guys to do that. Okay. uh, Most important thing, I would like to discuss my preparation strategy. This is one of the most key information I would like to share with you guys. That is, since, as you all know, since this year 2026 beginning, I have been associated with different AI companies and reputed AI companies like Mercer, Micro One, Turing. Right now Handshake AI, I have been successfully onboarded. Then Outlier was also there, Lingner were also there. So one strategy which I would like to discuss is, all these AI companies, when I onboarded, I felt there was one thing which was lacking. There was one, you can say, a disadvantage or maybe a lacking point is they don't provide you any kind of training. So I felt this everywhere. I worked at Micro One, Mercer and Turing as well. Everywhere they don't give you any kind of training. They just give you a documentation which you have to go through by yourself. It's a self learning session, self training session, where you will be training yourself and no one is going to coach you or no one is going to spoon feed you. So the question is, how can we be successful in an AI project by learning by yourself? How I do is, this is what I do. Whenever I onboard with any company, I take 4 or 5 hours of my time and I just invest those time to go through the complete documentation and guidelines of that particular project. I did this with Turing as well, I did this with Mercer as well, I did this with Micro One as well. At Turing it was a pretty easy process. I completed the guidelines in a couple of hours. However, in Micro One I dedicated almost 4 to 5 hours. Okay. And it is a pretty difficult and complex project in Micro One. So I never billed the company, I never it was non-billable hours. I never charged them. I never opened the time tracking software while I was going through the documentation, because this is my personal practice. That's what I try to do. So that is how I do, and that actually gives a lot of success, because once I dedicate at least 4 or 5 hours, and I usually do in the morning whenever I wake up from my sleep, maybe 6 or 7 in the morning, my time, IST. That is the best time that my mind is prepared and fresh, and I can concentrate 100% at that point of time. That's when I go ahead and open the documentation part, I go through it, and that gives me a clear picture of what this project may be. Is it worth me giving my time over here, and what are the challenges which I may face over the period of time. Second of all, the reading guidelines is very informative and necessary, because that gives you the overall look or feel of the project, what the project is all about. Okay. Now, while coming the assessment part, while I was giving the assessment, let me tell you, it is an open book assessment, guys. Unlike live interviews at Mercer and Microvan, for suppose if I'm trying to apply for a particular roles, some high end or technical roles had two phases of an interview. One was a live AI interview, other was a live AI exercise. That means you are still on the video call, your computer screen is shared, and you have to submit an exercise live. You have to prepare an assessment on live. So it will be a set of questions and answers which you have to give, and there will be set of guidelines which you have to study right away and then give the assessment. Think of a scenario how difficult that can be, right? As compared to that, this Handshake AI is an offline assessment, which means no one is, it's not a proctored examination, no one is watching you. No one is on the webcam watching you doing the assessment. It's very simple. You open the guidelines on a different tab, and while you're giving the assessment, you just look from there. Second thing is, the documentation part might look very clumsy, it might look very uh, you know it has a lot of sections, but no, it has primarily two different sections. One is for the taskers, who are the annotators like level 1, and another is for reviewers, who are the level 2, who are the QA guys. So we are getting onboarded as a tasker, we are getting onboarded as an annotator. Our work is to create task, so we have to just concentrate on the first part of that particular documentation. Okay, so don't be confused, just concentrate on that. Open it on a different tab while you're giving the assessment. Some people may take screenshot of the questions and put in chat GPT, but again the results may vary in nature. Sometimes you may get right answers, sometimes you may get wrong answers, and that assessment has some set of questions which you have to answer. Okay, check boxes. It is objective in nature as well, like you have to check A, B, C or something like that, and it is subjective in nature as well, where it will ask you to write some sample prompts. It is very simple, guys, trust me, it is not that hard. The second very important thing is how I did time management. So for me, I basically, it was like I didn't face any problem while time management, because when I was giving the assessment there was no time tracking going on, which means I had to complete this assessment in 1 hour, 2 hours or 3 hours. There was nothing as such mentioned over there, so I don't think so it's a timed assessment. It's some people have given in 2 or 3 hours as well. I gave the assessment in almost, I guess, 40-45 minutes. That, yeah, approx 45 to 50 minutes. That's how I gave the assessment, and that's how I did the time management. And was the assessment difficult? Well, I would not describe it extremely to be difficult enough. I have appeared for more difficult assessments than this as well. Okay, at Mercer as well, there were very complex, difficult and weird assessments which I have given. So this was still, I would say, on a scale of 10 it will be 6 or 7. Okay, so yeah, and don't blindly follow the AI tools or chat GPT. I would trust you to trust on your instincts. Take 3 or 4 hours to read the documentation. I know it's a hard labor work, but please, let's do that, because uh, you know for beginners as well, people who are students, who are like uh, jobless, or who are looking for work, or it's their first time in the AI industry, or maybe housewives. Okay, so they might get confused, they might get nervous while looking at the documentation part, but don't be nervous. It may look a lot difficult, very big, but trust me, it's not rocket science. It uses a simple and plain English. They use very direct statements. the words do not have very high end meaning. They don't use complex words or complicated sentences. No, simple and plain English, straightforward to the point. What is golden trajectory? Okay, what is a good prompt? Everything is mentioned over there. The definitions, the words and everything. So yeah, uh, also if any way, if anyhow you will be able to pass this assessment by cheating, okay, then next what? Because this is not the real work. Assessment is just the way to judge your skills. The real work comes when you're trying to do the tasks. So when you're trying to do the task, then who is going to assist you? So then it won't be good that you will be asking people self that give me some prompt or how to do the tasks, right? Getting a guidance on something is different, but spoon feeding, getting spoon fed by someone, that is different, right? So I want you guys to be honest, okay? It is not very difficult, trust me guys, it is not that difficult. Cracking the assessment is not that difficult. The assessment is in the documentation for the assessment. You can open it in a different tab. You can hit Control and F and search for each questions and sections. For example, there's a questions on how to write a prompt, so you can just go to the prompt section, writing a prompt. There are sections which are mentioned specifically topic wise. So use this method and I'm sure you all will come out in flying colors. And yeah, that's it. This role can be applied by anyone. You are a student, you are a college goer, you are a housewife, or you are a working professional, or you're looking for a job, or you are in an industry that is completely different from AI, computer, technical. Maybe you are a school teacher, or maybe you are as a clerk, or maybe working in the accounts department, anywhere in any part of the India, doing some offline work, and you have no relationship with online work. This job is for you as well. You don't need to worry. You just pass the assessment and then you will be welcomed and onboarded on the team of Handshake AI Project SEAL India. So uh, that was all about myself, how I passed the project SEAL assessment. It's pretty easy, don't worry about that. And also this video may include some referral links for Micro One and Merker. If you want to apply for open roles at those companies, you can surely go ahead and apply there. And I would like to ask a few questions to my audience, like, have you received the AI assessment? Were you able to complete it? What kind of challenges which you faced? After watching this video, do you think it will be helpful for you to prepare for that particular assessment? Because we always have a tendency, that we always uh, don't want to do efforts, don't want to put a lot of efforts, reading a documentation part that is 20 or 25 pages long. For the reviewer part, it's almost 21 or 25 pages. I've gone through each and every page and section, so I remember that. So yeah, it is a bit difficult, time consuming, and it needs to give your attention, but trust me, it is not that difficult. Okay. And yes, so always try to read the guidelines. Okay, i would I would encourage you people not to use chat GPT, because even if someone will give you the questions in their YouTube videos, that may not be helpful. Understand one thing, we are trying to prepare a habit over here. The main goal of this particular YouTube channel was to aware you, educate you, maybe give you some guidance, if I'm capable enough, so that you can get a remote job and not just pass an assessment. If you want to just pass an assessment, you can cheat and you can even pass, right? But you have to create your overall habit. You have to change your habit, so that you try to understand the technicalities of AI. You try to understand how to go through the guidelines, which point to understand, which points to give move focus. So this was the second part of this particular series of Handshake AI Project SEAL. The third part would be coming soon. It will be like by within a week, like 6 or 7 days from now. It will be next Sunday as well, same time, I think 10 a.m, I think, not sure. In that I will be discussing how to do tasks, what kind of, like, what theory of AI tasks are involved over here, that I will be discussing. And yeah, Thank you so much for your time and your support and your love. And if you guys found this video helpful, do like, comment on the video, and share this video with your friends, and subscribe to this YouTube channel all about remote jobs. Till then, take care of yourself. Bye bye.